Sup, everybody? It's D's World. Got a reaction. I'm about to react. Joe Rogan, tigers attacks and kills a kid at San Francisco. Oh, the San Francisco Zoo. Now, this has to be years ago. Maybe I would say something like 10 years ago. Maybe less about it, but I say something like that. I remember when that happened. They were talking about that they was taunting and like doing some stuff from the tiger, and the tiger was just like, oh hell no. So later he found him and he jumped over the thing and jumped and found it. They said people can't, or not my bad. They said that that tigers can't jump in that place, but it did. Cause animals are smart. People just think they're not, man. They're smart, man. They have common sense and they can see and think, and they're watching you. And if you're doing that right there, it's gonna find you. It's gonna find you one day or another. So let's see right here what's happening, man. But hey, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see.
Noise of the machine go off, and they'll wade towards the pellets like it's dinner time, like a fucking dog.
It's
like
no
a
different
Pavlov's dog.
than large animals in a zoo.
It's very similar.
Like I understand zoos play a particular role in breeding programs, conservation. Yeah. Not all zoos are bad, but I have a particular problem with large carnivores in zoos. Years ago, I used to go to the San Francisco Zoo when I was a postdoc. One night I was at the movies in San Francisco, and someone said, tigers escaped from the San Francisco Zoo and are eating
might
people.
Be more.
And I was like, that's crazy. And this was kind of pre-
It might be more than 10, maybe 15. I don't know. It's been a while, though, but I remember that was a big thing right there. Ooh, when that happened. I think like 2 people or 3. I don't know, something like that. Let's keep it. Let's see.
So these kids actually went to the San Francisco Zoo. The moats were too low, and these kids, it was around Christmas.
Pine cones.
Yeah, they were throwing stuff.
I had a bit
them.
about that too.
So this tiger, Tatiana was her name. I knew about her because she had taken the arm of a zookeeper. At the time, I was trying to date this woman who worked at the zoo, so I was like hanging around the zoo, not to inappropriate levels.
Not in a creepy way.
Not in a creepy way. Anyway, eventually Tatiana the tiger, after taking the arm of one of the keepers, climbed out of the moat because they didn't have the glass guards there, got out. Crowds were spreading. This was near closing time. Tatiana this is what's amazing, wove through the crowd and went and killed one of the kids that had been throwing things at her. So it was targeted revenge. It was not random killing off of humans.
Right.
And then basically slashed up the other kid. And then just sat there kind of, sampling the blood or whatever. The police showed up. They shot Tatiana the tiger. This is all documented.
Damn. See, you better tell your kids going to the zoo, don't do stuff like that. I watch, I always watch Animal Channel and other kind of stuff, seeing everything what they talk about animals, lions, tigers, bears, oh my. Well, anyways, you got to watch out. It's always going to hit them. That's why if you have like a lion, a tiger, even like Mike Tyson, he got one, he got a tiger, everything's have lions. It's always like the instincts are gonna hit it sometimes, man. Even though it's right there in the zoo, you never know. It's still a freaking tiger. Remember that tiger used to have a tiger right there in the zoo? Not the zoo, my zoo. It's like, oh yeah, it was the zoo. Nah, not the zoo, my bad. It was into the what was it? On the circus. Yeah, remember the circus? He used to come all the kind of stuff and make him do some things and everything, and he's put his face right there in his mouth and stuff. And then the tiger, the lion, just said, just bit him. It's like, dude, why would you even do that? I'm cool.
And for a couple of years, I didn't know whether or not to rejoin. I had joined the zoo. I wasn't like a donor to the zoo. I had no money. I was a postdoc at the time. But I was very conflicted because it was like, it seemed like they gave the animals a good life, and yet clearly large carnivores in the zoos, you're depriving them of something fundamental, which is their need and desire to roam. I mean, the reason I put my dog down is because he needed to roam and smell things, and he lost control of his legs.
They have a deep desire to kill. That's part of what they do. There's a reason why they exist. They exist because there's a balance in nature. You have prey population like antelope and these axis deer, which are the ones that evolved with tigers, and it's why they're so fast. And then you have predators. Like, it's horrific to say, but there was a video of a zoo in, I believe it was Iraq, and right after the war.
Damn, kind of want to watch Tiger King again, huh? Oh man, that thing was hella big when COVID started on Netflix.
Right after the war, the soldiers filmed the way they would feed the lions. And the way they would feed the lions is they would let a goat out. And the goat would wander. The goat was like, oh, I guess I'm just hanging out here now. And then the lions knew that once they opened up the cage, the goat would be out there. They were accustomed to it. And so they open up the cage, and this door opens, and these lions just come pouring out. And they grab this goat and fuck it up, and they start tearing it apart and fighting each other over the pieces. And it's wild shit. But that's what they want. They don't want a cold plate of dead meat.
No, they
have what they want.
They, as you're saying this, my neurobiologist mind goes.
Yeah, this
to
is the video. This is the video. So these goats are hanging out. Oh, hey, how's everybody doing? And then boom, all these cats come rolling out. And this is how they fed them. But this is what they want, man. I mean, people would say that's cruel. But listen, you got to kill the fucking goat to feed these things anyway. Like, why is it cruel if they do it, but it's not cruel if you do it? Because it's going to be more humane because you're going to kill them with a bullet? Like, I just don't think the goat...
Oh, I agree with that.
...is going to really care one way or another. This is the last day of its fucking life. And this is what a cat is supposed to do.
Sure.
And they're pretty effective killers.
A wild cat.
It's not like they're going to torture it like a house cat will.
No,
That's
this is a
sick
circuit.
About house cats.
There's a really interesting study. There's a guy at Caltech, great university, obviously, a guy named David Anderson who studies things like aggression and whatnot. And he's looked at these. The hypothalamus is really interesting. It's like this group of neurons. They're all densely packed together. But with modern methods now, you can really turn on and off the different populations of neurons. So they did this study a few years ago, looking at an area of the hypothalamus called the ventromedial hypothalamus. And for years, people were confused about this area because you'd lesion it in an animal, and the animals wouldn't fight, but they also wouldn't mate. And what they eventually discovered is they have two populations of neurons in this structure, some that are responsible for mating and some for fighting. So then, using modern methods, what the Anderson lab showed...
Man, that's like if you're in the streets... I'll put it together. You can be like, dude, you're an idiot. Think about this. But it is like that. You got some friends right there in the streets. You can be like, oh, this dude right there... This dude's a good person, right? You go to the other side. This person, he's not a shooter. Dude's a fighter. He fight anybody. Then you have the people that probably like, oh, I'll do the other thing like that. I don't give a damn. You know, that's why you see the differences right there. Oh, this this dude likes girls. Oh, I'm the pretty boy right there. Oh, you ain't about that life. Oh, this. It's something like that, I guess, what they're saying right there for these tigers and stuff, man. That's interesting.
Is that if you trigger activation of one set of neurons in these in this ventromedial hypothalamus, the males will go and mount the female and mate. These are mice. If you at that moment turn off those neurons and turn on the neurons that are right near them that are responsible for aggression, the male mouse will try and kill the female mouse.
Damn.
Whoa.
But it's so extreme that if you just give a male mouse a glove filled with air or water and you turn on these neurons, the mouse will just go into a rage and try and kill the glove.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. And just to kind
is that how O.J. Simpson did that? No, like, oh, it's chill. Oh,
explain just how strong these switches in the brain are.
I shouldn't have said that.
Last year, that same lab published a really interesting paper. You know, animals mount to mate. They do it from behind, basically. Almost all animals, not some primates don't. Humans obviously switch it up, but but basically what they discovered.
What's your favorite? What's your guys' favorite? Because
discovered is there are two sets of neurons in the hypothalamus for mounting. One is for males mounting females to mate, and another set of neurons is for males mounting other males for dominance. Oh. So you know when you go to
Jiu-jitsu gene,
or the dog park phenomenon, where people always say if your dog is mounting another dog, they always say,
them.
Yeah, they're dominating them. And female animals have this circuit too. You'll see a female pit bull at my ex-partner and I, we had a pit bull as well. She's an amazing dog, but she was a pretty dominant pit bull. And we'd take her to the dog park, and she would sometimes mount another dog.
Yeah.
And that isn't sexual mounting. That is dominance mounting. And there's actually a separate circuit in the brain for dominance mounting.
Yeah.
Noise.
Damn. That was interesting. Oh, man. Shoot. I'm dominant, man. I'm like the man on the top. I'm doggy style. Oh man, that was cool, man. Hey man, but don't mess up this freaking like some animals like that. You gonna get freaking shot. Not got shot. You gonna get bit and all that kind of stuff like that. It's like, what else is there? People's having animal. I mean, if it's your job though, I ain't gonna lie, that'd be cool. But at the same time, you gotta be chill. If you're not, RIP those kids with that, man. That would suck. Ooh, man. All right, man. Tell me what you think about this, man. Agree, disagree, or what? Whatever I said, I kind of forget. There's a couple things I talk about quick and everything, but all right, man. Like, subscribe, show love. Peace.